we go. All right, text me if we need to talk. Oh, thanks, Mike. Hey, welcome back to Live on Patrol. This is the Live on Patrol 4-camera test. And on your screen there, you're seeing the 4 different cameras that are in use right now at the current time. And you'll see mine is in the upper left, Mike Martin in the lower left. The CAT team, one of our CAT team members, Joe Kill, is out there in the lower right. And then Kyle and Andy are in the office there. That probably would be Pat's, but Pat is at home under the weather today. And it's a good day to be under the weather because it's some terrible slippery driving conditions here. So we're going to take you off the 4 screen. I know a lot of people don't like that. We're not going to use that very often, but just to let you know, we got 4 cameras. So I'm going to quickly just pop over. And in a few minutes, you should see just my camera. And this is a test. Tomorrow night we'll have this in full implementation. Thankfully Pat taught me how to set the screen lock so that the focus is out there rather than on the windshield. So we are going to Joe Kill and Mike Martin were up at the Joe's Sporting Goods up there in Little Canada, responding to an occupied stolen car. And we are going to go to Mike Martin here in a minute to kind of give us an overview of what happened up there, as long as you had a little bit of activity. So hang on just a minute. When you go to Mike, you'll just have his audio rather than mine, and you're going to hear cameras or radios and stuff in the background on Mike's as well. So far, Kyle Maystad and Andy Cassidy have done an amazing job getting this equipment ready. It's amazing what you can do with 4 iPhones. And to be honest with you, I'm continually amazed by their work and how they do stuff. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to call Mike Martin just to make sure he's ready to go live and kind of fill you in as what happened up there. They got some arrests. I made some arrests up there today. Joe's Sporting Goods.
I'm ready.
You ready there, Mike?
Yep. All right.
I made some arrests up there today. Joe's Sporting Goods. You ready there, Mike?
Yep. All right.
I made some arrests
All right. All right, we're up here at Joe's Sporting Goods in Little Canada. By far, one of the best fishing suppliers in the Twin Cities area, if not the best. I don't want to offend anyone else, but a good citizen called in from the Cub Foods, which is just across the street and down a little ways, saying that there were 4 young males in a car that they thought might be stolen because it had a broken out window, that were all wearing ski masks. Squads responded. Before the squads arrived, the car came over into the Joe's Sporting Goods lot, and we were able to basically surround the car and get the individuals out of the car safely, and are working with Joe's to get video of them in the lot. 2 of them exited the car and 2 were with the car, and they're all now in custody. And Joe Kill from the CAT team, as Bob mentioned, is out here. Mike Servatka from the CAT team is, as well as some of our deputies and several Maplewood officers. This location is right on the border of Maplewood, and they responded quickly to assist us as well. The car is currently being processed. They're finishing searching the car. It's the silver vehicle that's up in front of us, and with the door open, and the officers are just checking out that car. Then the car will be processed for DNA and fingerprints, and the people who've been arrested will be brought down and interviewed to determine, whether or not they're willing to cooperate and tell us where they stole the car, and anything else they've done. I can tell you, I looked in the car and there's evidence of drug use inside the car, and it looks like they've had this car for a while. I don't know what day it was stolen. One of the mistakes these young men made was pulling into the Joe's lot, because we have off-duty deputies that work in here to help provide security, especially during the holidays, and they were able to keep an eye on the car and make sure it didn't leave, and give a play-by-play to the deputies that were responding out here. So you can see Sergeant Servatka right now is at the door of the car checking it, and it's always nice to get one of these stolens off the street and do it in a way where we don't have to chase them, and it's done safely. No one's injured. So people often don't realize, what has to take place. Stand by for a minute. Good, how are you?
Good.
I'm live, just so you know, on the air with Bob and all. So don't swear.
No. We never swear, we're officers.
I know.
The cleanest clean.
So,
awesome.
yes. So we're, I think the CAT team's going to take it and take the guys down and interview them and try to process them.
Good.
Process the vehicle and whatnot. So
Shout out to the comp.
shout out to the comp who called in.
Reserve, and I think he does St. Paul traffic too.
Okay.
So he nailed it. He saw it and was
Awesome.
like, that's a stolen.
Well, that's good. So if everyone didn't hear that, it was a Woodbury Reserve officer and someone who works part-time doing traffic enforcement for the city of St. Paul saw this vehicle and called it in. So if it weren't for good people, we wouldn't solve a lot of these cases. So, well, thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Okay, looks like he's not going to be on the playground platform. They're checking on him now.
Trailer out.
I don't know if you could see how much traffic's coming in here, but this time of year is busy for Joe's for selling hunting gear, hunting licenses, fishing, ice fishing stuff. And so it's a really good, busy time of year, but we're making somewhat of a spectacle here in their parking lot until we clear out.
Waiting in a white pattern.
Yeah, that's Speedy Mark. November Romeo Sierra 120.
Copy it. Speedy Mark.
I can advise on my call.
Copy, checking the area 2243, Boston 3911, hang up.
I'm gonna just spin around here and show you a different angle of this vehicle,
Copy, area showing us
if I can.
Your incident has been updated.
So hopefully you can see that the back driver's side window is broken out. The vehicle's got some pretty significant damage on the front of the vehicle. There's
Your incident has been updated.
ton of stuff inside the car. I'm guessing a lot of that is probably stolen, along with some drug paraphernalia and drug residue in there that would be consistent with
Your incident has been updated.
use of either heroin or meth, possibly fentanyl. So you'll notice that the deputies that have been in the car
Your
are all
incident
wearing
has been
gloves.
updated. Your incident has been updated.
So as additional information gets entered into the call,
92, it's just occupied by a bunch of little kids in the back. I'm going to see if the owner.
that's why you hear the voice saying your incident has been updated, because it's telling us that there's updated information as officers enter the names of the suspects and information on the registered owner and that kind of stuff into the call. Then it allows us to realize that there might be more information in there that we might need.
On code 4 with the RO.
Copy, code 4 with the RO at Thomas and Hill.
Your incident has been updated.
192 will be on fire.
Copy, 1530.
166, 192, you need another squad there?
Yeah, just for now.
Copy. If the other two squads want to cancel 166, we'll take care of it.
Copy, 181, 163.
So we're just waiting to get more
Very code 4.
information on the suspects, determine whether or not they're adults or juveniles. They look young, so if they're adults, they're young adults. And then we'll gather the information that we need to be able to determine how to process them. It's a little different with juveniles than adults. And if they need to go down and be booked, the juveniles would go to the juvenile detention center after we had a chance to talk to them and get all the information we need. Adults would be booked into the Ramsey County Jail and go from there after we've
For a while, I believe this occupied.
I'm gonna hop out quick and go talk to Joe Kill and see where we're at with this.
That was Under Sheriff Mike Martin out at Joe's in Little Canada there on the border of Little Canada and Maplewood. Squads were there. That was Under Sheriff Mike Martin. Oh, sorry about that. Joe Kill is actually out there. He has a camera in his car as well. Unfortunately, he's a prisoner in his car right now, so he can't transmit.
Can you put us on 1A?
Well, we could. I don't think it's a good practice to transmit while you have a prisoner in there. So when he gets through booking his prisoner, he'll be able to talk. But I am going to send you down to Kyle Meestead and Andy's office real quickly, and you, Kyle, you can tell them a little bit about how the system works, and you know, you can impress upon them how much work it took to pull this all off, because we really appreciate you. So let me just see if I can. You can tell them a little bit about how the system works, and you know, you can impress upon them how much work it took to pull this all off, because we really appreciate you. So let me just see if I can.
Case number on jail is 213787.
You are, is Kyle around there or not?
Yeah, everything.
Or
You're welcome.
okay, bye. All right, so Kyle is not there right now. You saw Andy there in the picture, but we're back. We're back here. I think Andy was a little shy, but Kyle will be back in a minute. I'm on the east side here on Maryland Avenue, Clarence. And appreciate all your different people. You're going to get to meet people in this venue. And here's what I'd ask. Everyone's going to have their favorite, and that's awesome. Talk about your favorites, but just don't be critical of your non-favorites, because there's no one way to do police work. There are many different styles and personalities, which is great about law enforcement. We don't really want robots in this business. And some are better talkers, some are better tacticians. So just absorb it all, appreciate them all, be kind to everyone. You'll get a mixture. We'll make sure we give you a mixture. And if you're just joining us, unfortunately, Pat is under the weather a little bit. So hopefully he'll be back tomorrow, but I'm not certain he will be. We can check in on him tomorrow. I think he's actually sleeping. A lot of flu's going around. There's an amazing increase in flu nationwide. A lot of people in our office. Jelly Joe's been sick actually too, in case you're wondering. And Jim Moody just got back from being sick. I saw an unbelievable increase in Los Angeles, they said, so it's traveling the country. Traveling the country. In case you were wondering, there was one juvenile and 2 adults that were arrested up at Joe's up there. It's not unusual, you know, one of the problems with these kids with stolen cars, a lot of times they go to Joe's to try to steal some ammunition. It's rare that they're able to steal guns, but they are able to steal ammunition or magazines. And they have a tendency to want to buy the extended magazines. Most stores have really locked up pretty well. By the way, if you haven't shared this, we'll probably be live for another half hour, depending on what happens. But please share this broadcast and just tell them this was an experiment. I'm going to put on the 4 up cameras just to let you see how it could be. Now we know people don't like these multiple cameras, so we're not going to use them very often. But there you see Andy and Kyle at their desk in Kyle's office, just checking and making sure the technology works right. And you can see my camera in the upper left, and then of course Cat Team Joe Kills cameras in the lower right. He's actually got a prisoner with him, so we won't put the audio on there. A lot of fire trucks and medic runs today, huh? You asked for a little name so you know whose camera that is. Oh, Andy's waving to you now. He's ready for. I'm going to send you over to Kyle and Andy. And Kyle Meestead, just give him a little backdrop, and you can explain a little bit of what else you do. Kyle is also, he's our administrative undersheriff, handles all of our administrative matters. So here we go. Explain a little bit of what else you do. Kyle is also, he's our administrative undersheriff. Handles all of our administrative matters. Here we go.
Okay, so Andy's here with me. We both work in the administrative division, and we take care of a lot of the budget and the finance, the HR, the grants, the contracts, the procurement, the technology pieces, all the things that keep the sheriff's office moving and keeping the community safe. So that's kind of a brief overview of what we do in admin. Live on patrol on the side, obviously, as well. So, Andy, a few words.
Yeah, I take care of a lot of the technical background stuff for Live on Patrol. It's something we're kind of learning as we're going, trial and error, but I think it's been going pretty good so far. We love being able to share what we do with you guys every week, and just share our story and give you guys a raw view of law enforcement.
So, and in the process, of course, getting a couple text messages for some shout-outs. So we should say hi to Shelly and Mankato, Jen and Jean as well, because friends of mine that always make it a point when we're on camera to text and say hi. Andy, any shout-outs for you?
Shout out to my wife, who is watching all 3 kids right now, so we can do this live test. She's a saint.
That she is. So, you'll obviously answer any questions folks have in the chat too on Facebook, about what we do here in admin. But, the biggest part of working in admin is just helping folks out. Our employees, staff, from the deputies to the jail staff, the COs to our finance staff, our clerks, everyone here. There's about 500 people that work here day in, day out that helps keep everybody safe and helps keep us moving forward. Text from Rev Spence, who also says hi and gives a shout out. So never a dull moment when you get some FaceTime on camera. So we'll have to see how the 4-camera works out. And it looks like all the connections and the streams are working really well. So I think mission successful, and we'll turn it back over to the sheriff. Connections and the streams are working really well. So I think mission successful, and we'll turn it back over to the sheriff. Connections and the streams are working really well.
I think we're back. I'm not sure, but Andy has the capability from the office to determine who's on. I also have a phone that's set for that, so I can switch the cameras, but Andy is the master. It looks like he's switched it back. Here, one of the other advantages to having more than one camera on the street, and we'll have, like I said, 4 cameras on the street. We can still have a 5th or a 6th in the office, but one of the advantages is that not everybody knows where Pat and I are, and it gets a little bit difficult to always be looking for stolen cars when they know exactly where we are. So spread out the number of cars, and as we're switching every 15-20 minutes. Not sure. You can let us know what you think the optimum time is. I mean, there's good and bad to everything. But obviously, whoever has the most interesting activity in their camera, that's who. And we can kind of tell. We have our own radio system that we can communicate, as well as multiple texts. One night, I think we'll put a camera at the M&H gas station, just to film the activity there. I think there could be a reality show based upon the different personalities that walk into M&H. And I love it there, to be honest with you, because the staff is so helpful and friendly there to us. But besides their helpfulness, it's just it's interesting meeting a lot of different people. So we might put a camera at M&H for a couple hours some weekend, and when it's slow on the street, just take you inside M&H. Or for that matter, if you have any other ideas for camera locations, let us know. Well, let us know, because we are open to hearing from you.
1644.
Can you give us the description of the mail party one more time? That's regard, sorry.
334 for you. Clark. 335.
Let you listen to the radio a little bit here.
1700 EOT.
336.
Some of the squads are going EOT right now,
337.
which is end of tour. Their shift ends at 5 o'clock, so
351.
they're officially off the street.
351. 356.
And then go put their gear away.
356. 357.
So you're until 2200.
By the way, yesterday I was at the swearing in of Axel Henry.
Anybody else?
Outstanding police officer. I think he'll be a great chief. Congratulations again, Axel.
Have a great night, 603.
Any additional squads for 1700 EOT?
There were literally dozens, if not 200 cops there, showing their support of him.
Any additional squads for 1700 EOT?
A lot of community members there as well.
Any additional squads?
So all 3 channels are going EOT at the same time.
656.
Squads for 1700 EOT, squad 135.
Third downtown squad, I can try to
35.
call and get code up.
127.
137.
140.
286, second back.
140.
273, breaking in pretty close.
Great.
1645.
Are you calling for a downtown spotted?
Need firm, but Central's closer. They're just 656 was requesting a second car in the south.
Copy.
Copy. See your comp in the emergency room at Abbott Northwestern, Minneapolis. Report of a domestic.
533. This is going to be updated tag comments. Clear assisted 526 537.
Copy.
Chris Sergeant, to copy the report of a domestic report outside the city as well.
Yeah, go back and talk to him.
Copy.
So thank you if you just joined us. We are live on patrol with multiple cameras.
365.
Copy.
Got Under Sheriff Mike Martin,
See your comp at East Team. Report of a robbery.
Deputy Joe Kill in the CAT unit. We're going to rotate that camera in the CAT unit around to a few other CAT team members too, some of which are shy, but I'm sure they'll get over it. At some point, we'll convince Alex to put a camera in his car.
369. 369. See your comp at 2188 London Lane. A U-Haul truck and assist citizen. Request officer stand by while they gather property from a nearby address.
Copy.
Copy.
Copy back. 1524 Branston. For residential alarm audible coming from the garage door. My copy 165 going west. 15 Branston.
Nearby.
273, we're starting fields.
Copy 165, you can be clear.
There, I just switched over to the 4-camera view there. You can see Deputy Kill in the lower right is transporting his prisoner down to the station. Mike's there in the lower left.
185. 534 Tango, 533.
Pat and I might split up once in a while too.
Central Library, 94th Street West, outside in the middle of the street.
Pat's really good at finding stolens. It's one of his areas of expertise. We might split up a little bit. We'll still ride together, but once in a while, if we're live, we might split up so he can find a stolen while the camera's on someone else.
If you're able, can you change the address to line 7's address and see if St. Paul can go and check that address and make contact with the comp? Absolutely. 60 for evening.
Well, it looks like a very successful test. And we'll start at 9/11 tomorrow. Could start a little earlier, but
263.
1291 Marion on a property damage accident.
Mileage 31.
2 vehicles.
it's amazing what you can do with 4 cameras.
1649.
2558.
And actually, the software to run the 4 cameras is publicly available.
Mileage is 88 and I'm EOT.
Have a good day. 1649.
I'm guessing Kyle turned the comments off on YouTube, but not 100% sure. Andy has equipped an iPhone here for me to actually switch cameras. Just a one touch, push of a button. Or he can do it from the office.
Delta November Echo 866.
Some of you may have seen that story about the attempted carjacking in Hudson, St. Croix County, and how the people fired a shot in the direction of the intended victims after they refused to give him their car. Turns out that the investigation has revealed that the likely suspect vehicle was actually the Porsche that was carjacked from Woodbury. Was driven to St. Croix County across the river, and they had used that to attempt to carjack another car. When that failed, they came back through St. Paul. The owner was tracking his car at that point, and there was a ping near 94 and Western, which we thought maybe it was in that area. It turned out the car was recovered out at Highway 169 in Minneapolis, the Porsche. But it just goes to show you the mobility of criminals and how fast they can get from Hudson, Wisconsin over to Minneapolis in their carjacked cars. We are downtown St. Paul, in case you're wondering.
364.
364.
Our location, adult female conscious breathing. It's going to be for a medical transport and call for on arrival.
Copy.
So we always value your input on these type of tests. And let us know. I'm going to go back to Mike here in a minute, and Mike can update us on what's happening with the investigation from the people, and then we'll come back and wrap it up in a little bit. Gotta wait a few minutes so he can hear me say that.
For medicine for in 1517 apartment 1.
Copy 1517, apartment number 1.
Okay. Check your text. Check your text there, will you? Yeah, are you ready? All right, bye. All right, we are gonna send you over to Mike out there in Little Canada, or wherever he's at. So switching to Under Sheriff Mike Martin.
All right, I think I'm live now. I feel like one of those traffic reporters that they make go drive out in a blizzard and to tell you that it's snowing outside and that the roads are bad. Actually, the roads aren't too bad, but it is snowing out. I'm northbound on Rice Street, which turns into Hodgson here in the city of Shoreview, and approaching Highway 96 up here. This is one of our contract cities here in Shoreview. We have 7 contract cities where we're the primary police responders, and that we patrol, and to be one of them. And we're in Falcon Heights, which is a little further south and west, closer to the fairgrounds. Most of ours are in the northern half of the county and the northeast part of the county, from White Bear Township through North Oaks, Canada, and I know I'm gonna miss somebody here, but we patrol these areas, Vadnais Heights, I'm sorry, and we're the primary responders. We not only respond to general crime calls, but we also respond to assist on a lot of medicals, especially the more serious medicals, because we may be able to get there faster than the medics or the fire departments in some of these locations, and especially if someone is having a heart attack or needs oxygen right away, our deputies can provide that medical attention that helps them get stabilized before the medics can get there. St. Paul has medics that are on their fire rigs, but also they drive the ambulance service in the city of St. Paul, which I thought was a little different, because in Minneapolis the ambulance services are North Memorial and Hennepin County, and the firefighters respond to basic medical calls. So I'm going to go westbound here on Highway 96 and checking pending calls to see if there's anything exciting going on, but I'm not seeing anything. To just kind of a wrap up from the Joe's case, I think the sheriff said there were 2 adults and 1 juvenile in the car. I'm sorry, that were related to the car. One had gotten out, one was inside the store, and one was in the car. The juvenile who was in the car will be booked, and 1 adult will be charged with tampering with a motor vehicle that was in proximity to the car, and the other adult will be transported home. I may have that backwards. It might be the juvenile that was being transported home. But we oftentimes have to use some discretion on what we can prove as to who was in the car, who actually we can prove probably knew it was stolen, and who maybe was just riding in there, but may not have known.
You can show clear. Looks like the victim refused to stay in, and the TC advised the nurse to let the victim know to call back when she is ready to report the incident.
So we're westbound on Highway 96 by the Shoreview, or coming up on the Shoreview Community Center. Just a beautiful place if you've never been there. They got a great water park for kids, and pool in there, and meeting rooms, and all kinds of community activities that occur. It's also adjacent to a library, and across the street from those is the Shoreview Ice Arena. If you're a parent of a young hockey player, you've probably been in there freezing at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning when the kids get their ice time. But it's a tradition for young hockey players from this area to spend some time in Shoreview, in the Shoreview Ice Arena. Deputies hopped going eastbound, so I'm going to swing around and check on them, make sure they're okay and don't need any help.
County Road D. David on a civil issue regarding a custody exchange.
If you heard that radio call just in Maplewood for a custody exchange, sometimes parents will have us stand by while they exchange a child that they share custody over because the parents can't get along, and that's something that our deputies and city officers do just to make sure everyone's safe. They'll generally do it at a library or a school or a police station or a fire station, somewhere that's kind of a neutral location, and it's just one of the many things we do that people probably don't realize.
Yes, sir. Got the other side.
213-784.
Sure. Just want to let everybody know we're right on the control side. I want to do everything on the control side. Messes up when we're detached. So I can't create anything inside. So we'll do everything on the control side, and then we'll approve it. Perfect, yeah. Frank's the only one that's got a write on it, so he'll write on the control side anyway, so that'll work out. Perfect.
And 282.
5282.
On a fire alarm, 2680 Lexington is covering fourth floor smoke.
Copy.
13.
Copy. Suspicious vehicle 11663 4th Street regarding a Xfinity work van. They contacted.
Hopefully get you a little clearer view here.
They may possibly be stolen. $1705.
I Randolph and 7th, and I saw the vehicle that was in the middle of the road. I stopped by and I talked with the people. They said they're okay, but it was a hit and run, and the vehicle was going south on 7th, or west on 7th.
Copy. Looks like Central has a call.
So I'm just sitting here backing up these two squads that are on a traffic stop. And they're...
Steven, the 21-year-old black male.
They appear to be code 4. In other words, they probably don't need help, but it's kind of a tricky spot here, so I'm helping with the traffic by sitting back. And I have my rear lights on that direct people to the left lane, much like the squad on the left in front of me. And it's just a safety issue so that if they have to get out and approach, no one's going to rear end them from behind. And if anything, they rear end me, but I'm ready for it. I have a seatbelt on and can brace rather than an officer who's out on foot or a deputy that's out on foot.
Great, cop suspicious. Out to 1163 4th Street.
So it appears Deputy Nagloski's going up to issue a citation to the driver. And Deputy Sachdev is getting out to just keep an eye on her, make sure she's safe while she does that. You get to see a lot of the finest of the sheriff's office on Live on Patrol. But these are a couple of the officers that do great work every day. Hey, boss.
273.
This is Medic 652 Striker Avenue, unit number 2. Zero round for a 59-year-old male, conscious and breathing, is suicidal. He's currently in the bathroom. No weapons, but the friend that's pulling on his behalf thinks he could be violent.
So these two deputies just do a tremendous job out here. All of our deputies have different skills that make them good at what they do and add to the effectiveness of the sheriff's office. I think now that they're back and safe and getting back in their cars, we'll probably be switching back over to Sheriff Fletcher.
Well, thanks, Mike. That was awesome explanation of the Joe stuff and what's going on in the contract cities. And I appreciate you being a co-host on Live on Patrol. We're going to wrap it up. This was a very successful test, I think, of the 4 cameras. Kyle and Andy, thank you very much. Let's hope Pat and Jelly Joe get over their flu. And Mike, great job. We'll see you at 9/11 tomorrow. I'm just going to show you, for those of you that just got here late, just going to show you the 4 camera view that we can pull up. Pretty amazing. We have 4 cameras. Tomorrow night we'll have 4 in the squads. And we can go remote just about anywhere. And frankly, we could go to 8 cameras. and someday we may. It's amazing what technology can do for us, and we're going to use it to help let you see what's happening in law enforcement. The whole idea here is to be transparent in our work, to develop trust, and hopefully you develop an understanding of what the job is about, but also a better understanding that law enforcement officers are just people like everyone else. So thank you for joining us. Please, if you watch this later, share it so other people can see the new technology we're developing, and we will see you tomorrow at 9/11. Thanks again. Have a good night.